welcomes you to the following presentation of the National Football League.
Madden Football is the home of the Super Bowl, and this historic matchup is brought to you by EA Sports. It's the 49ers and the Steelers, all that and more, coming up next.
After a long two-week build-up here in the Bay Area, the moment has finally arrived. It is time for football here at Levi's Stadium in Santa Clara. Folks, this is Super Bowl 60, and we've got an outstanding matchup on tap. The moment is upon us, and we've got what should be an epic one here, as it'll be the Pittsburgh Steelers, the AFC champion, taking on the NFC champions, the San Francisco 49ers. With Charles Davis, as always, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And Charles, you talked about storylines in this one. I think it begins and ends with our two quarterbacks, certainly two of the best in the business.
And nowadays, I don't think you can get by for long periods of time without a top-flight quarterback. The way the game is played, with all the responsibility he has and how the game flows through him, if he's not on the top of his game, your team's not going to benefit at all.
And up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. So out come the Steelers now for their first drive. And they'll be led out by their 6-year quarterback.
And no doubt he's living out a dream right now. He's had dating back to his first days of playing football as a kid. But he certainly can't get lost in the moment right now. There's still a Super Bowl to be played. And his offense, they're looking to him to be their leader. You can take it all in when it's over. Right now, you've got the biggest game of your life to win.
5 yards on the game's first play, second down.
Nice satisfying run on first down for the offense, picking up 5, which means defensively, the thought process is entirely different. You don't want to panic, but at the same time, you're saying to each other, we got to tighten this.
Out only about a yard up to the 32. Well done to sniff that out defensively. He had it diagnosed pretty quickly.
I love that description because diagnosed is perfect on that one. Read his keys, made the play, and he couldn't even get going moving the football.
And all of that, nearly an opening drive INT, but it does fall incomplete. Not the way you wanted to start this ball game as it brings up fourth down.
That was their first third down try of the game, and clearly something was off in the execution of that play. Good news, they've got a whole game left to clean that up and start clicking on those key third down throws.
And the fair catch is made at about the 27-yard line. So here's the first drive now for the 49ers. And they will be led out by a man in his sophomore campaign as the quarterback.
And there are a lot of quarterbacks who had terrific careers. Think about guys like Phillip Rivers, Randall Cunningham, Dan Warren Moon, but they never got to a Super Bowl. Yet here he is in his second NFL season, already getting his chance. I mean, harken back to Dan Marino, another superstar, made it in his second year, lost the game, and never made it back again.
He'll be hit down at the 33, 5 yards on the play. From the 33, here's a 2nd and 5. In motion left here, one of their tight ends. On play action, they'll throw. And this throw incomplete. And the defender all over him that time, but it's going to lead to third down.
One thing you hope to see out of a rookie tight end is a real concentration when the ball's in the air, and I'm not sure that he didn't. But he has to be prepared for people making a play on it when that ball's up for grabs.
That's going to be caught by Samuel. And I don't think he got there, no. He's short by maybe a foot, maybe. Call it 4th and inches.
Well, we hear so often how tackling has become almost a lost art in the NFL game. But it's so important to tackle well on these receivers, especially in a play like this one. Third down, they gave him the underneath stuff. You got to go up and make the tackle right away.
Here's Austin fighting through at the 25. 43-yard punt, but they get 9 back on the return. And the Steelers will go on offense here, 1st and 10. So Pittsburgh retakes the field for their second offensive possession. And they'll certainly be trying to do better than that first drive where they went 3 and out.
And sometimes the first drive is just simply to settle nerves. You know what it's like at the start of a game with the emotion, guys a little bit jumpy.
But you do.
Oh, you understand the same way. It's just like us calling one, right? Making sure we ease into the game, let it come to us.
Well, you went
and now they have that opportunity.
No, you didn't go 3 and out. I went 3 and out on that first drive. I'll try to do better here.
Part of the thinking when you bring in extra tight ends, you're hoping that each of your guys gets those one-on-one blocks and creates a crease for your runner. You know what the converse is, though? You've got to win those one-on-one blocks, and when you don't, that's the result you end up with.
So the completion results there in 9 yards. 3rd and 7 now. So 7 yards from the first down here as they come up to the line of scrimmage. Here's Gonzalez from the gun on 3rd down. And out of bounds on the other side of midfield at the 45. Big yardage there on the scramble. It gets him a first down.
He's a talented runner, and that means he's always looking for bigger and bigger gains when he takes off. Certainly found some bonus yards there beyond the first down marker, and this early drive will continue with that extra jolt from his legs.
So from inside Niner territory now, this is 1st and 10 at the 45-yard line.
From the gun, they'll try to run it.
He takes this for about 6 down inside the 40.
Brandon, all things considered, they have to feel pretty good about getting that type of a gain considering the blitz that they just had against them.
Ball on the 39. Here's the 2nd and 4.
And they'll keep leaning on the running game. Back to the ground. And the reinforcements come in as they're going to stop him behind the line. A loss on that play, and now 3rd down gets tougher. 3rd and 6. Looking to throw. Gonzalez. And they're able to get this one past the 30 to the 25-yard line. A nice job there on the escape and scramble. A first down, a 16-yard gain.
On 3rd down, the defense decided to blitz. A very good job of recognizing it, stepping away from the pressure, and finding open space to scramble and pick up a first down.
Rolling to his right. And he's in. Touchdown, Steelers. 25 yards to the house.
And the Steelers are on the board first here in this Super Bowl.
That's a really good decision right there outside of the pocket. You've got to know the right time to shift from passer to runner. He was looking and looking. Nothing there. You can almost feel the brainwaves firing as he calculates, I think I can win a race to the pylon. And he turns out to be right. Touchdown.
Footing always a concern, but the extra point's up and good. And that makes the score 7-0. Boswell now to kick it away after the touchdown.
And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line.
Back out there comes the 49ers offense ready for their 2nd drive. They trail early on in this Super Bowl as they come up 1st and 10. The drive begins with a run by McCaffrey. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down.
Halted in his tracks by Keanu Benton. Now a 2nd and 10.
Back to throw. And the Steeler pressure too much here. He's going down.
Cole Holcomb proving too much there for the offensive line. He gets the sack.
The Steelers now in the nickel here on 3rd down. Back to throw here. And that is incomplete.
2 drives won't tell the story of this game, but you absolutely have to like how this defense has played thus far. They have yet to allow this offense to get on track in this one.
So on 4th down, here's the Australia native Mitch Wishnowsky to punt this one away. His first punt, 45 yards. This looks good as well. Now Austin. Call it an even 40-yard punt. 7, though, on the return. And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over. And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. They've got a 7-0 lead in the football as well as they start out 1st and 10. They'll run with Pollard to begin the drive. And he'll be brought down at the 50 after a gain of about 5.
In today's NFL, you hear all the time about stretching the field and creating space in order to run plays. A toss play will help accomplish that because now you're pushing a defense to chase you all the way to the edges and to the sideline. That's a nice run, probing now early to try and get things done later.
And some space here. And still fighting. And into Tony Pollard, 50 yards. And the Steelers will add to their first quarter lead here in this Super Bowl. And that CD, one heck of a run. He just refused to go down.
And that's where determination comes in because he had at least a couple of guys had really good shots at him, but he just said, I don't think so. Speed, power, elusiveness, all on display right there. Look like you, partner, back in your salad days in Evansville.
Extra point put through by Boswell. And that'll make the score 14-0. So 2 plays on that scoring drive. That's how they drew it up. And the long run into the end zone, and what a run it was. Boswell now to kick it away after the touchdown. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get this up to the 29. And San Francisco gets set to go here. They trailed early on in this Super Bowl as they come up 1st and 10. They'll start with the option. Not much room here as he only gets it to about the 30. Only a yard on the keeper, and it'll be 2nd down.
But not much on that run, Charles.
No, that's exactly the way to execute a run blitz there. They guessed correctly that they would move the ball on the ground, honed in on it, and stopped them. Mark that down for a win in the defense's column.
And that's complete to McCaffrey. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. The Niners have the 1st down on a gain of 11. Out of the pistol, McCaffrey. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4. Well, you're down early. How do you get back in the game? Maybe establish the run. I think they're trying to do that.
Now, I'm with you on that one, and what I like about the message is that there's no panic from the head coach. He's already told his offensive coordinator, let's run the football, let's get things settled down a little bit, and find our way back into this game.
And they're going to have themselves another 1st down as the tackle's made at the Steelers' 40. They give them 13 yards there on the play and a fresh set of downs. They'll look to throw now on 1st down.
He'll get this out wide here to McCaffrey.
And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. The catch and run there, good for 16 and a 1st.
You can almost hear the sigh of relief coming from their sideline and from their point on the field because this has been a tough start for them thus far. A much-needed 1st down there. They needed something good to happen. Plays like that will continue to help them dig out of this hole.
And it'll be a minimum pickup here as it will take us to the end of the 1st quarter.
And we've got a lot more ahead of us here in Super Bowl 60. 2nd quarter coming your way next.
14-0 is our score. We'll return after this message. You're watching the NFL, and it's right here on EA Sports.
Appreciate everyone joining us. Super Bowl 60 here tonight. Time to begin the 2nd quarter. Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis up in the booth.
as we get set to resume play. Here's a 2nd and 7. And his throw is incomplete. He was waving his arms, wanted the football, but he dropped it. And that reminds me of the story you told me from your days at Tennessee. We don't need to mention the other guy's name, but when he dropped an open pass that you blew coverage on, what did you say to him?
Yeah, it's really not right since I blew coverage, but since he dropped the pass, I said, well, maybe next time he'll just walk it out here and hand it to you. Would that be easier? He wasn't real thrilled with that.
It's cold-blooded. Cold-blooded. And this pass broken up. The contact well timed there, and now 4th down. And his kick is indeed good, and they will get themselves on the board here at 14-3. So that kick gives them their first points of the game, CD, and it comes on the 3rd drive, but hopefully for them that's a spark that gets that offense going.
Yeah, and I would say if you're the offensive play caller, as you look at your sheet, you're trying to find that part on there that unlocks bigger points. They've struggled with a few drives so far, finally got 3 out of it. How do you find the end zone? That's what he's searching for now.
Out comes the Steeler offense now, ready to see what they can do here. And thus far, the weather has not slowed this offense down one bit. They've looked good so far in the first half.
They certainly have. And think back to our meeting with the head coach. And we asked him, because we saw the forecast for this game, didn't we? We said, hey, have you prepared for this? And he talked about the different drills that they've done in adverse conditions, the wet ball drills, things of that nature. He said, I don't think it's going to slow us down much. We tend to handle it pretty well, and he's been right.
Yeah, he's able to force his way through one man, but he can muster only about a yard on the play. 2nd down.
Defensively, we always know that he is tough in run support, and I think the way that he gets there is he understands what an offense is going to do before the ball's even snapped. A great job of scouting prior to the game, then reading, reacting, and taking the right path to the ball carrier.
And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there, trying to take a shot, but it's 3rd down. They'll come to the line here, needing 9 yards to pick up the first. On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw. Flushed out right. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. Big yardage there on the scramble. It gets him a 1st down.
Remember, Brandon, he ran for a touchdown earlier, so his decision to go ahead and tuck it and go again turned out to be a wise one.
And the decision is what is important here. He has made some good decisions on when to tuck it and go. So from inside Niner territory now, this is 1st and 10 at the 43. Back to throw. Gonzalez. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. I guess no need to force it when you can do that instead. 1st down, 18-yard gain.
It's really something special when we see a quarterback top 100 yards in one half of football. And if he keeps up this pace in the 2nd half, the NFL record for single-game rushing by a QB is certainly in sight.
Now a play fake here on 1st down. That's going to be caught. And in for the Steelers touchdown. Darnell Washington, a 24-yard touchdown. And the Steelers continue to look good here in the first half of this Super Bowl. So 3 drives, 3 touchdowns, and they're a PAT from going up 21-3.
And there's no doubt in my mind, you're liking what you're seeing so far, aren't you?
It's been unbelievable. Like a well-oiled machine, if you will.
What's really tough, though, that defense, they're leaping the shadows at this point. They don't know which way to go. They're being hit in every direction, and they have no answers thus far.
Boswell now to kick it away after the touchdown. And they will wrangle him down a couple yards shy of the 30. San Francisco set to go on offense once more. And this, let's face it, an important drive if they're going to get back into this ballgame.
Think about going into the locker room down 21-10 as opposed to 21-3. 21-10, a little more optimism, a little more bounce around the locker room, a little more discussion about how they're going to finish this thing off. 21-3, I think discouragement clouds that locker room.
Yeah, and I think a touchdown much bigger than a field goal on this drive just to get into the end zone and get that momentum. 2nd and 4. And his throw here's incomplete. A misconnection there. He's hit on just 50% of his passes thus far. That's not where you want to be.
Now you see the evolution of the game. You go back to the quarterbacks of old, 50% would be terrific because they threw the ball downfield almost every time they threw it. Now with the short passing game, you should be above 60% just to be in the average range.
That went out wide and intercepted. Picked off by Joey Porter Jr. And he brings this one back. It's a pick 6 for a Steeler touchdown. Biggest stage.
Perfect descriptor there because we have seen this time and time again. This defense, their ability to take the ball away from teams, they definitely have a nose for the football, and it pays off again on that play.
Boswell for the extra point. And they open the lead up now to 25 points. A heck of a play there defensively, getting the interception, navigating his way into the end zone for the touchdown. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6, and now the kick is away.
And he takes this near the 25. Just a little pass there. Call it the 26. San Francisco's offense returns to the field. Now remember, they were just out here a moment ago through the pick 6, so we'll see if they can take better care of the football this go-around.
Yeah, and sometimes, partner, I think it's almost better that you just throw the pick 6 and you come right back out on the field. You're not over on the sidelines dwelling for it for very long. You're not hearing everyone say, hey, you'll get them next time. Hey, don't worry about it. All that stuff just goes right out the window. You're right back out on the field with a chance to atone.
From the shotgun to McCaffrey. And the running lane's non-existent in this first half as they'll stop him behind the line. Now they're going to be dealing with a 3rd and 7 as that one officially a loss of 1.
The running lanes have definitely not been there for him here in the first half, and I don't think it's all been his fault. His offensive line hasn't given him much space. A loss results there.
Well, had his hands on it, couldn't bring it in. Pretty symptomatic of how this game's been going.
It's going to be another frustrating end to a drive here. This offense, they've not been able to get anything going in this first half. And now it's going to be time to gather on the sidelines and try and figure out what's going wrong. Who has an idea? Who has a plan? Time to implement it.
A 41-yard punt there with no return. And out will come the offense as they take over. And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field.
Well, everything right now that they touch on this side of the football, it seems to turn to gold. They've scored on 3 straight possessions. That lead continues to grow. And, I mean, if they can get points here, Charles, might almost be an insurmountable comeback for the other side.
I think you make a great case for that, so I'm going to flip it over to the other side. Could they make the big comeback? Certainly. Am I expecting it? Not at all. I think if we don't see a drastic change in how they're playing, this blowout's going to get bigger and bigger before the final gun.
From the 35, here's 2nd and 3.
Here we go.
They run straight ahead here with Pollard. And he'll be brought down shy of the 40 at the 38-yard line. They'll get 3 as the drive continues. It's a first down.
Well, that was a unit that understood exactly where the first down marker was, handed it to their guy who could run it, created some space, and he got there.
Now on first down, he'll drop to throw it. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And getting this just shy of midfield, they'll spot it at the 49. The Steeler first down on the pickup of 11 yards.
Let's just call it what it is. This has been a flat-out struggle for this defense all game long. They've really had a hard time slowing them down. And while I'm not big on speeches and guys jumping up and down, they might need their team leader on defense to get in their face right now and light a fire under these guys. They got to start playing better assignments.